Okay, on the request of Corey, who is the boss, we're going to do a watercolor demo. But I want to take it pretty far. I want to go deep into it and do a really difficult one. And so we're going to be using this sketchbook. It's from Italy, and we get it because Cecilia, who you guys will be hearing a lot about, she is my TA and I mentor her. And she's about as perfect as you get in every way. She's talented, she's smart. She's quite perfect. And she runs my college class. And so she's exceptional. And she speaks Italian. Surprise! So we've been able to get this sketchbook. The paper is actually made from the same mill that was made back in the Renaissance. It hasn't changed in the formula, and the leather's gorgeous. So we have, a few of these sketchbooks, and they're just beautiful. And you can, swap out the paper, so it's just great. So here's some watercolors. What I'm going to be doing is showing you guys in this watercolor. It's going to be combining different pictures together, and it's based on wet satin dry, and it's a formula that I kind of been using in the watercolor for years, and it's really fun. So it's going to be several videos to net out one painting. I'm going to take you through the process. We want to get the fundamentals done so we can move on to putting it all together and using it. And these are just, simple watercolors that were done in the book. Here's from a live model. This one I liked. This was just playing very simple and very subtle, and having a good time with the, with the paint. And then, this one too. Really playing with watercolor. You can really play with your color. Okay, so here's another one. And then we're going to do ours right here. Okay, so it's going to be here. What we're going to do is we're going to combine pictures together, and that's going to be the key. So get rid of the glare here. So we have this one that is spinning. So let's bring this one back. This is an iPad, and you put your images on here. So I have these images. I'm going to put two mountains in the background. I'm going to put this in the foreground, and I'm going to put this, probably this one in the background. And this will be the middle ground. So we've got foreground, middle ground, background. Okay, and we have to put this together compositionally. And then we have clouds. Let's see what I have for that. Oops, one of my old drawings. Then we'll put in some real pretty clouds. Okay, so we've got this road looking over this green valley, and then off in the distance are these snow-capped mountains. So it's going to be fun. We don't really work from one, finished photo. These are all photos that were taken by Dave Master when he goes on vacations. He likes to, when he goes on vacation, he likes to go camping, out in the wild where there are lions and tigers and bears and, oh my. Me, when I go on vacation, I like to go on a cruise ship, and when I rough it, maybe I'll do the early sitting, instead of the late sitting. And sometimes it gets wild, we get some like rough ocean, and you go, whoa. But that's about as rough as I go. If I want to go outside, if I want to get fresh air, basically I just Google it. And if I want to get sunshine, I Google that too. And if I want to have adventure, I Google that too. So the series that I've been doing in the sketchbook is living vicariously through somebody else. Now this, of course, I draw my models because they're indoors, and that works. But like here, I'm living vicariously through my friend. So he goes on the vacation, he does the hiking, he does all the work, he takes a picture, and then I live through him. Okay? The paint that we're going to use, I'm going to go big on this one. This is a Winsor Newton artist grade set. This is beautiful, and what I do with the paint is I even squirt my own paint in there, see? And put that in. So we've got that, and so we're going to be using professional grade Winsor Newton watercolor. And then for the brushes, I thought I would pull this out. This is crazy, you guys. This is the Millennium Edition Series 7 watercolor brushes. And there's only 200 of these in the world, and I have 2 of them. And so we get out of the glare. So they got a brass front. I never use them. I mean, I never use these brushes. And I don't want to have like, you know, after I'm gone, some kid getting a hold, even though they're all in my will to go to my kids, but, and abuse the brushes. So we're going to use them on this one. So you see it's all brass and Series 7, Kolinsky sable. They're all handmade, and it's pretty wild. So here's the brushes. This isn't, they're numbered, okay? Look at this. Number 55 out of 200. And the brushes themselves, they're all handmade with sterling silver ferrules. I mean, this is crazy. I didn't pay for them. They were given to me. I think I paid $100 for one of the sets, and the other one was given to me as a gift. But they're just gorgeous. Okay, so we have the different brushes. Now, when we use the brush, when you see the brush going outside of the camera field, it's going into this water right here. This is very important because this is a Ghirardelli jar from the land of Ghirardelli, and Ghirardelli is chocolate. And chocolate's important because chocolate has everything you need in it to survive. It's got all of the the necessary nutrition. It has chocolate, which comes from, a chocolate, bush, and it has that, and then it has, milk, which comes from a milk tree, and so that's highly nutritious from what I hear. I don't drink it because it's dangerous. Eggs come from, egg things, and it has sugar, which, we couldn't survive without sugar, and that's really important because sugar comes from, sugar things. And it all comes together in the chocolate. So when you put your water in there to dip your brush in, it just makes life perfect. So when you see my brush leave the area where I'm working, they'll basically be going into a towel. Yeah, right. It's going to go on the floor. So you take the brush and you put it in the water, and you get it really full of water. So this is what's going to be called a loaded brush, okay? So you see it's just full of water. And then you shake it, and it comes to a point. You shake it again, and it comes to a really good point. So here's the important part of watercolor. This is a loaded brush. This is where you're going to put down a lot of water for big washes. And then when you shake it, that's a half-loaded brush, see? And shake it again, and now it's empty. And it's amazing how it works. And then you can just go ahead and put it down, okay? So that's our supplies. Compositionally, we want to guide the viewer's eye. That's the key. And what we're going to be doing on this painting is we're going to be playing with our color. If you notice, and then we're going to move on to a new video, we're going to start the painting. But if you notice, the colors, they're just tinted grays, okay? So I have an insulting poem that I use for my students, and it says, I can't say, I'm not going to say old ladies, but let's say old people paint lilies on Sunday out of the tube in the old age home. So old people paint lilies out of the tube on Sundays in an old age home. And I think one of the biggest insults I ever had when I was in school was to be called a Sunday painter. And that's when you're just kind of like squirting out the red for a flower, squirting out the green for the leaves, and not the way I was taught. So we want to key the painting. And I know I'm going to get emails on this one saying, how dare you, you're insulting. Well, of course, that's the way we teach the class. So what we're doing is we're tinting the grays, with different colors. And then where we want the eye to go, we'll put in, stronger color. And that will give us a center of interest. And it's really fun, okay? And so that's kind of where we're going on this puppy. Now, how do you tint your grays? That's the big question people are always asking. For that, we want to do what's called the cheerleader, okay? So you know that on your color wheel, it's red, yellow, blue, okay? Red, yellow, and blue. And then in the middle, you know, if you mix red and yellow, you get orange. And if you mix, you know, red and blue, you get purple. And if you mix, you know, blue and yellow, you get green. That's your secondary colors. So we do what's called the cheerleader. And the cheerleaders, you know, they're always singing, you know, when they go to the football games, push it back, way back. Push it back, way back, okay? And so, and then if you talk to the cheerleaders, you know, they're so sweet, and they're always giving you compliments. You know, oh my God, I love your hair. Where did you get your hair done? I must get those tennis shoes. I love those jeans, right? And they give you so many compliments that after a while, you just look at them and you just gray back. You just go, okay. So, by giving you compliments, it grays you back. And by graying you back, it pushes you back. So if you say, push it back, way back, that's because you're getting a lot of compliments, and you get a lot, that means it grays you back. So push it back, way back. You want to push it back. And that's done because you're getting all these compliments, which grays you back, you see. And then by graying you back is from getting the compliments. See how that works? So if I want to gray you back, I'm going to give you a lot of compliments. So if I have green and I want to push it back, I'll add some red, okay? If I have red and I want to push it back, I'll add a little green, and it neutralizes the color. Or just add a bunch of brown and it schmutzes it, okay? And then you're all pretty good, all right? And then where I want the audience to see, I'm going to put the more contrast, because the eye goes where there's contrast. And that will be done by playing with the edges, you know, contrasting edges of the shadows, as well as color. Now, the other thing that I'm going to be doing in this painting is I'm going to be doing what's called broken color. And broken color is where I'll put a purple next to a green. And that will vibrate, okay? If I want the audience to see a green in broken color, I might put a yellow next to a blue. Pure color. When the eye looks at it, it will mix it together and put it all together, okay? So you can see right here, you know, I'm softening the edges, but I'll put these pure colors next to each other. So we'll do that at our center of interest, which will be on the road. So we're going to go on the road, will be here, will be our center of interest, okay? And I'm going to put some shadows going across the road, and I'm going to put a lot of broken color in there. And then we're going to go off into the middle area, which will most likely be here. And this will pretty much become more family of greens, still kind of desaturated, but still some pure, pretty good color, because that's going to bring us to the next level. And then when we get back here, I'm going to take this and I'm going to really push it back. I'm going to lighten it up, desaturate, and cool the colors. And that's going to push it way back to only come back and bring in some really pretty clouds. So that will be similar to something like this. This is a pastel, and really pushing the clouds, which will come back over towards us. So it's going to go away. So you can see here, look at how I'm putting this orange next to the purple. They hate each other. Orange and purple? Oh my God, that's horrible. So, but if you notice, when I put these colors next to each other, they vibrate and they're really fun. But when I come back here, I'm desaturating the color by doing the cheerleader and adding complements and pushing it back, you see? But here I'm bringing it forward again. So the tree goes back and then the clouds start to come back towards you. So it's important that we control all of this in our artwork, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And Corey's reworking their website, and that's going to be up pretty soon. There'll be a ton of stuff in there. We'll get these fundamentals to you guys, and we'll start using it. Okay, so let's see. This was 14 minutes. Let's move on to our painting.